Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nanda gopa kumaraya govindaya namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji and Mother. It was very nice when everybody was singing, isn't it? It creates a different vibration. And we're meeting after 3 weeks. Last session was on 2nd April. Looks like a long time. Yes. So let me share my screen. Last time we covered chapter number 15, probably, yes. So what was the theme of chapter 15? Anybody would like to?
Pandavas retire timely.
Oh yes, thank you, Kavita Mataji. Pandavas retired timely. Very nice. So Hare Krishna to everyone who joined us online. I'm just sharing my screen. So today we will start with one verse. I hope you can see my screen. Pandavas retired. Okay. Mataji, online you can hear us?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So yeah, chapter 15 we discussed Pandavas retired timely. Yeah. Now today's chapter is about, now after Pandavas retired, now Parīkṣit Maharaj becomes the king. Even in the chapter 15 it is said that Maharaj Yudhishthira he appointed Parīkṣit Maharaj as the king, and then they went to the forest. So now when Parīkṣit Maharaj starts ruling, so he comes across, or he sees that Kali Yuga has come. Kali Yuga has come, and now Kali started creating problems, or various problems. Yeah? How he receives the Kali Yuga, how he meets the Kali Yuga, and there is also a conversation between Mother Earth and Dharma. Dharma has come in the form of bull, and Mother Earth has come in the form of cow. So now bull and cow, they are talking with each other, which is Dharma personified and Mother Earth, which is in the form of cow. So they are talking to each other and they are discussing their current situation. So we will discuss that. So here in this verse, now Dharma is asking to Mother Cow. So Dharma, his 3 legs are broken. He is only walking on 1 leg. Yeah. And Mother Earth she has lost all her bodily luster. She is very thin and frail. She is hankering for small grass. And then when they meet each other, then they start asking each other, what is the reason for your situation? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Yeah. Right. So we will discuss that. So please repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Yadavambate bhuri bharavatara. Yadavambate bhuri bharavatara. Yadavambate bhuri bharavatara. Yadavambate bhuri bharavatara. Kritavatarasya harir dharitri. Kritavatarasya harir dharitri. Kritavatarasya harir dharitri. Kritavatarasya harir dharitri. Antarhitasya smriti visrishta. Antarhitasya smriti visrishta. Antarhitasya smriti visrishta. Antarhitasya smriti visrishta. Karmani nirvana vilambitani. Karmani nirvana vilambitani. Karmani nirvana vilambitani. Karmani nirvana vilambitani. So this is Dharma asking Mother Earth, or Bull asking Mother Earth question. Yeah? So just so we can understand and we can get the context. So please repeat word by word meaning by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Yadva, that may be. Amba, O Mother. Te, your. Bhuri, heavy. Bhar, load. Avatar, pleasing the Lord. Krita, done. Avatarasya, one who incarnated. Hare, of Lord Shri Krishna. Dharitri, O earth. Antarhitasya, of him who is now out of sight. Marati, while thinking of. Visrishta, all that were performed. Karmani, activities. Nirvana, salvation. Vilambitani, that which entails. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat. O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, incarnated himself as Lord Shri Krishna, just to unload your heavy burden. All his activities here are transcendental, and they cement the path of liberation. You are now bereft of his presence. You are probably now thinking of those activities and feeling sorry in their absence. So basically, maybe come forward, Prabhuji. There's space here, just in case somebody walks in. So, Dharma in the form of bull and Mother Earth in the form of cow. Dharma is inquiring from Mother Earth. So here he's asking to Mother Earth that he asks various reasons, but one of the reasons that he's asking is, O Mother Earth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who incarnated to unload, right? To reduce the burden. Yeah. What is the Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita? Why does he appear? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyutthanam adharmasya sambhavami dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami. Yeah. And in Ramcharitmanas also, Tulsidasi says that wherever and whenever all these demons, right? Sidahi dhenu vipra sur dharni karahi aniti jai nahi barni tab prabhu dhari vividh sarira harahi kripaniti sajjan. So as and when the demons, when they are giving troubles to sur, demigods, dharni, mother earth, vipra, brahmanas, and cow, sidahi dhenu vipra sur dharni, these four, then Lord appears. So here exactly same situation. Dharam is asking Mother Earth, that Supreme Lord who incarnated to unload, to reduce the burden on you. Because Mother Earth, when she went to the Brahmaji, she prayed to Brahmaji. She said, I can take all the burdens. These oceans, these mountains, they are not any burden on me. As much as one sinful person is burden on me. I can tolerate everything, but I can't tolerate sinful people. So this is the sign of Kali Yuga. That's when what had happened. Now Lord Shri Krishna has gone back. Krishna swadham upagate dharma jnana dibhi saha. Yeah. Kalau nashta drisham esham purano ark adhuno udita. Sud Goswami is telling Shaunak Adi. You see that Lord, no, actually Shaunak is asked a question that now Lord Shri Krishna has gone back. He has gone back to his abode. Dharma jnana adi bhisa, everything has gone back. And Kalau nashta drishamesha. Kali Yuga has spoiled the drishti, the vision of all the living entities. And then, but he says, yes, there is a hope. Purano Ark, this Puran, this Bhagavad Puran has appeared as Ark, as sun. Adhuno Udita. Yeah? So this Bhagavad Puran is there. So now Mother Earth is bewildered. She is sad that Lord Krishna, who was here and who was walking, and in the last line it says Nirvana Vilambita. Yeah. So those pastimes, Vishrishta, all the activities that were performed by Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, those activities are so potent that even nobody even wants moksha. Nirvana Vilambita. The moksha is also undervalued when we get to see or when we get to hear about those pastimes. So that's why Mother Earth is bewildered or she is feeling sad. And Bull in the form of Dham is asking those questions. Yeah. So now you understand the context. Anybody, one person would like to recite the verse? You see the verse?
Yadvambate bhuri bharavatara.
Yadvambate bhuri bharavatara.
Kritavatara se hare dhararitri.
Kritavatara se hare dharitri.
Antarhitasya samrati vasishrishta.
Antarhitasya samrati visrishta.
Karmani nirvana vilambatani.
Karmani nirvana vidambitani. They are called Bhagavati Samvad. Lord is speaking. Lord's devotees are speaking. Bhagavati Samvad. Please hear the purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. The activities of the Lord include liberation, but they are more relishable than the pleasure derived from nirvana. That's what the meaning of nirvana vilambita. Or liberation. According to Srila Jeev Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the word used here is nirvana vilambitani, that which minimizes the value of liberation. To attain a nirvana liberation, one has to undergo a severe type of tapasya austerity, but the Lord is so merciful that he incarnates to diminish the burden of the earth. And simply by remembering such activities, one can defy the pleasure derived from nirvana and reach the transcendental abode of the Lord to associate with him, eternally engaged in his blissful loving service. Yeah? Rather than hankering for swarg or moksha, you hear these, you discuss these pastimes, and then you are able to go back to the Golok Vrindavan. You don't have to hanker for the heaven. Okay. Let's do Mangalacharan and then we will discuss today's chapter. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sargajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitantam Sajivam Savadetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakharvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhute Mahadbhir Yayima Puro Vibho Nirmaya Shete Yadamosha Purusha Bhumte Gunan Shodashatmakam Solanka Sreshta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanaagatam Katha Amritam Satat Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Margamantanam Sarvaloka Rishi Deva Janma Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishi Deva Janma Prasannam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji Mataji, please pray for me. Please pray that may the right words come at the right time. I'm able to glorify Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj, and we are able to really enlighten each other. Hare Krishna. So, see my screen? So the personality of religion religious principles, Dharma was wandering about in the form of a bull, and he met the personality of earth in the form of a cow who appeared to grieve like a mother who had lost her child. She had tears in her eyes, and the beauty of her body was lost. Thus, Dharma questioned the earth as follows. So, as you can see in this picture, the three legs of Dharma is sitting. He's sitting. Rather, you can say he's standing on one leg. You see his back leg that is somewhat straight. You can see that. See there? See the mouse? You can't see the mouse. Yeah, but the back leg you can see. So that leg, that only one leg is you can say fit, but other three legs are broken and they are bleeding. So Dharma has four legs. What are the four legs of Dharma?
Satya, Daya, Sauch, and one more is Tapas.
So in the order, Tapasya, Shaucham, Tap, Shaucham, Daya, and truthfulness. And when I'm saying order, this is order in the four yugas. They are prominent. So the first yuga is Satyug, then Treta Yuga, then Dwapar Yuga, and then Kali Yuga. In Satyug, all the four legs are healthy of Dharma, right? So Tapasya, austerity. But austerity is prominent in Satyug. It is not as if other three legs are not there, but in Satyug, as you can see, people can perform austerity. They had the inner strength to perform the austerity. For a moment, if you step away and look at it generally, religion, and it has four legs, and religion has been given different definitions. Some people's understanding is it's my Pita Dharma, my Putra Dharma, Parivar Dharma. All these are given different. So there are two categories, higher category in the hierarchy, and one you can say somewhat lower. The highest Dharma is Paro Dharma. What is the Paro Dharma? Bhagavad Prabhu. Who's saying Savai Pumsam? Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhuchat. Ahetuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasita. That is our Param Dharma. Savai as in all, Pumsam as in living entities. Of all the living entities, the supreme occupation is to perform the devotional service to the Supreme Lord who can't be seen by these normal material eyes, material visions. That is why he's called Adho Akshara. He's beyond these material senses, right? And what kind of devotional service that has to be? Ahetuki, unmotivated, apratihata, uninterrupted, yayatma suprasida. By performing that service, Atma, the super soul, and our soul, they both are pleased. That is that. Also at another place it is said that whatever dharma you can do, whatever you can perform, swadharma, you perform your swadharma like family dharma, everything very nicely. But everything, all of this is of no good if ante narayana smriti. If at the time of your death you cannot remember Lord Narayan, then everything is useless. So that is the whole purpose. So we get to these two categories, higher level dharma and lower level. All of these lower level dharma, they become, you can say, they contribute for us to achieve our highest dharma. Right? We can't leave our family dharma, we can't leave our brotherly family, husband, wife, etc. and say, I'm going to go to the Supreme Lord. No. Right? We have to perform these dharma, but with the mindset that the ultimate goal is to antakale chamameva smaranmuktva kalevra. At the time of death, that I should be able to remember the Supreme Lord. That is the purpose. Right? So that is a higher dharma, but in general there are four legs of dharma. In the Satyug, the most prominent is austerity, tapasya. At that time they could perform. Now tapasya also, Prabhuji Mataji, tapasya means voluntary. Right? Like you are doing Ekadashi fasting, that is voluntary. Right? And the whole purpose, now some people look at it, they say, oh, look, what is the point? Let's live in the present. Let's enjoy the present moment. But if you try to understand, so the objective behind that austerity is for the long term. In the short term, you could be suffering. You could be, curbing your senses, controlling your senses. But it is the long term. The goal is long term, isn't it? Long term, eternal. When we're doing this austerity and short term, if we start identifying with the body and senses, then we hanker for these, bodily comforts. But we forget the ultimate goal. So in Satyug, they could perform that dharma very sincerely. They could perform tapasya for thousands and thousands of years. Right? That's what. Then comes Treta Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, they were performing yagna. For the yagna, cleanliness is required. Right? If you are clean, then you can perform. In general sense also, if you are organized, take your kitchen, take your house, small things. If your life is organized, you can perform those things very nicely. If it is not organized, then we are always doing patchwork. Isn't it? So cleanliness just doesn't mean mopping the place. Cleanliness also means you are organized so nicely that you are able to perform your activities in an organized way, right? As opposed to just mopping the place. No, that's not the cleanliness. So they could perform those yagnas for many, many years, once again, because they were well organized. They were determined in their austerity. Yeah? So in Treta, cleanliness. In Dwapar, mercy. Mercy in the form of they were doing charities. Daya. They were doing charities. They were doing Archa Vigraha. So there were opulent temples built. So like those kinds they were done. Then in Kali Yuga, believe it or not, truthfulness. Dharam is supposed to be truthfulness. Yeah. I mean, it sounds funny, but the real understanding of this point is, as our Acharya says, one is truthfulness with each other, within our dealings. But the real essence is truthful to yourself. That is the point. Truthful to your own self. Sometimes we try to outsmart each other. We think small things. Oh, I've done this. We all have experienced that, right? Somebody tries to do this, they feel, oh, I've done this great thing. But where are we going to hide? Once it is said that there was a guru, he was about to retire, and he called his disciples and he said, I want to offer you my gaddi. You take over from me. And then he arranged some tests, some exam, whatever. And finally, 2 students were left. And those 2 students were left. Then he wanted to test them again. And then he told them, I give you these pigeons. Take these pigeons and kill them in a secluded place so that nobody can see. And now both of them, they went away. They went away and they took the pigeons. And they went away. And one disciple, he went quickly and he cracked and he came back to the Guru and said, Guru, I've done it. I'm first, so please give me the, I'm your rightful inheritance. And then Guru said, let's wait for the other. Now, after a few days, the other disciple came and he was crying and he was so tired. And he came and he fell down on Guru's feet. Guru said, what happened? He said, my dear Guru, what kind of test you have given me? He said, what happened? He said, wherever I go, I went into the caves, I went into the, house, I went under the trees, I went under the water, everywhere I went. He said, even if nobody is seeing us, but this pigeon is looking at me and I'm looking at the pigeon, how can I kill him? So the point is, yes, truthful is prevalent for Kali Yuga Prabhuji Mataji, and it is prevalent in the sense that we are truthful to ourselves. Because at the end of the day, you have to answer for your own karmas. We can't fix others, we can't do anything, but when you go in the evening or whatever you're doing, if you lying, in olden days or in schools, people say, if you lying, put your fingers like this. You won't get sin for lying. In school, children, they used to do, I remember, oh, speak, lie, and then fingers like this. And no, but those child those days. But with Kali Yuga, believe it or not, truthfulness is the prominent dharma, and there is every opportunity for us to be truthful to ourselves. Yeah. So now bull and mother cow. So what had happened was, now it is said that Yudhishthira Maharaj, he started seeing the symptoms of Kali. Dadarsha ghora rupani nimittani. Yeah, Kuru Udvaha. Maharaj Yudhishthira, who is a Kuru Vanshi, he saw ghora rupani. He saw very furious, omens, bad omens. And he realized that Kali Yuga is just coming, or Kali Yuga is knocking on the doors. And then suddenly at that time, Arjun had gone to Dwapar. Arjun came back, and Arjun told Yudhishthira Maharaj that Lord Krishna has gone back to his abode. And as Yudhishthira Maharaj heard that Lord Krishna has gone back to his abode, then what did he do? He appointed Parīkṣit Maharaj as the king. And Parīkṣit Maharaj says that Swarat Potram Viniyam Atmana Sa Susamam Gunai. That Parīkṣit Maharaj, who was same in the qualities, in the gunas as Yudhishthira Maharaj was. Right? He was humble, and all those qualities that Yudhishthira Maharaj had, Parīkṣit Maharaj also had, and he appointed him the king of the whole earth, which was surrounded by the waters. He appointed him the king, and then he went to the forest. Now in this chapter, Sut Goswami starts telling Shaunakadi Rishi that after that, Tatah Parīkṣit, then Parīkṣit Maharaj, Dvijvarya Shikshaya, he had the best of the Dvij, best of the Brahmanas. As per their instructions, he started ruling. Mahim Mahabhagavata Shashasa. He started ruling the Mother Earth as a Mahabhagavat, as per the instructions of the best of the Brahmanas. It is not like, we hear in the Ramayana pastime, Ravan, he was being advised by Vibhishan Maharaj. Vibhishan was also telling him, his other mantri were telling him, don't do this, but Ravan did not hear. Kamsa, in the case of Kams, all his ministers, they become corrupted, and they were giving him corrupt advice because they were scared that he will start punishing them. But Parīkṣit Maharaj was totally opposite. He, as per the instructions of those Brahmanas, as per when he was born, remember we went through all the qualities. It is said while taking care of the praja, he used to be like Ikshvaku, Maharaj Ikshvaku. In terms of mercy, he will be like Shivi Maharaj, to give protection to the surrendered living entity. He was like Shivi Maharaj. And we will find out when he confronts Kali and he tries to kill him, how he then instructs Kali. Right? So he had all those qualities, and he was ruling that. And he started ruling, and then he says he got married to Uttara's daughter, Iravati. Uttara was his mother, and his mother's brother, Uttar, Virat, who was the Virat Naresh, his daughter Iravati, he got married to. And from Iravati, Mother Iravati, he had 4 sons headed by Janmeja, Maharaj Janmeja, who became the king after Parīkṣit Maharaj. Yeah. So, and then he performed 3 Ashwamedh sacrifice. It is said that Ashwamedh sacrifice are performed to get rid of all the sinful activities. He performed 3. It is said if you perform 100 Ashwamedh yags, you become equal to Indra. He did not have any of that desire. And we will see why did he perform those Ashwamedh yags. He performed 3 Ashwamedh yags. And then it is said that once he was touring the whole earth. He was touring the whole earth as a Digvijay. Dig means all the disha. And Vijay means victory in all the sides, all the disha. As a Digvijay, he was visiting. And as he was visiting, then he noticed that Kali Yuga in the form of bull was beating, Kali Yuga in the form of a king, dressed as a king. Nrapalinga dharam shudram ghanantam go mithunam pada. Nrapalinga dharam. He was dressed like a king, but he was actually a shudra, the lowest class of person. Yeah. And he was ghanantam. He was hitting go mithunam pada. Go is cow and mithunam is bull. So he was hitting both of them onto their legs. He was beating them on their legs. And he was beating on their legs. Then it says, then Parīkṣit Maharaj Nij Graha Ojasa Veera. That Parīkṣit Maharaj, with his all prowess, with his power, he gave him punishment. Sud Goswami is now telling this to Shaunakadi Rishi. He punished Kali-yuga, who was in the form of a king, Nrip Linga Dharam, and who was beating the legs of cow and bull. And as Sud Goswami told that, then Shaunakadi Rishi, they had a question. They said, if Maharaj Parīkṣit knew that this is Kali-yuga, this is Kali personified, and because of Kali-yuga, the people are going to suffer, then why did he not kill him? Isn't it? Valid question. Why didn't he kill him? Why did he just punish him and let him go? He should have killed him. And then say, please tell us. So their question is, now what they're saying is, Kasya Hetor, for what purpose the king punished Nij Graha Veera Kalim, by his prowess, for what reason did he punish him? Tat Kathyatam Mahabhaga Yadi Krishna Kathashray. Very important point now, right? First question you should ask in your mind is, why is Sud Goswami telling Shaunakadi Rishi that he went on a Digvijay? Is it related to Krishna? So every conversation we have, we should try to link it up to Krishna. That is it should culminate into discussion of Lord Krishna's pastime. So here now, Shaunakadi Rishi is saying, yes, which is, you all can think about it. Why? You know he's coming to punish us. He is going to create havoc for your citizens. Why didn't he kill him? And they are asking, but they are asking with a very cautious approach. Please tell us only if it gives rise to Krishna Katha. Yadi Krishna Katha Shram. Athva asya makarand liham satam. Or Athva asya padam bhoj makarand liham satam. Kim anyer alpa asad ayusho yad asad abhya. Or if that is related to his devotees, who are makarand liham, who are always licking the honey from his lotus feet. Two reasons. One is, tell us if it is related to Krishna or if it is related to his devotees and what those devotees are doing, who are satam, who are in sattvic mood and who are always enjoying their Krishna's pastime as if licking his lotus feet. Otherwise, they say, Kim anner alapair. Alap, alap is in useless, useless talks. Otherwise, they're saying, what is the, see, in their question, this is in a question they are adding this. Otherwise, what is the purpose of discussing other topics, which is of no good and which also reduces our ayusho yad asat abhya, which is the waste of time. Please tell us. And now, Shaunakadi Rishi, after this, they also mentioned that in this assembly, my dear sir, all the rishis, they have also invited Yamraj. In this assembly, they have also invited Yamraj, and Yamraj is sitting here. So while Yamraj is here, yavad ant ka asta iha. As long as Yamraj is here, the Mrityu cannot come here. See, they are so intelligent. Actually, what had happened was, in the Bhagavatam Mahatamya, before he started narrating the Bhagavat, Sud Goswami tells that when he is describing the, it's like advertising something, to create an interest. Before he started speaking Bhagavatam, he is telling them the importance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And there he made a statement, Sud Goswami, that Yamraj vikshe swaprusham hast pasham vadanti yam tasya kil karnamule. When Yamraj sees that his servants are going with a mrityu pash in their hand, then Yamraj goes and speaks in their ears. And what does he say in their ears? Parihar Bhagavat Katha Sumattam Prabhu Aham Anna Nirnam Na Vaishnavana. He says, okay, whoever you are going to pick up, right? You taking a Mrityu Pash in your hand, but please don't go near people who are engaged in listening the Lord's pastimes. Because I am the master of Annananam. I am the master controller of other people, not Vaishnava, not the people who are listening Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So Shaunaka Rishi, when they heard that, then the next thing they did is they went and invited Yamraj. They said, Yamraj, you come and sit in this assembly. You come and sit here so that Mrityu cannot come to anyone. So when we are discussing Bhagavad Katha, Prabhuji Mataji, so you have the blessing of Yamraj. Mrityu will not come. Right? And Mrityu, even if you leave your body, you will go back to Godhead state. I saw a video, recent video, one of my god sisters, she sent me from Vrindavan. There was a Mataji who was sitting in Bake Bihari. You've seen that? Yeah. So she was sitting in the Bake Bihari temple. She was chanting constantly. And within few hours, she left her body sitting there in front of the Supreme Lord. It was all recorded on the video.
Another Prabhuji also from here who went Vrindavan, remember some time ago, he also had his son is here.
Oh yes, his father. Yeah. No, he was at a different place. He was not in Vrindavan. He was in
Maharashtra.
He was in Karnataka. So Bhakti Samrat Swami Maharaj's ashram is there. So Maharaj is looking after that temple. But he was sitting. Maharaj just concluded the class. As Maharaj stood up, he stood up and he straight away had a heart attack and he passed away. So yes.
And another Mataji who went to Vrindavan, she was chanting and then there was a collision, vehicle collision.
Okay. Yeah.
That, you told me that.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Another Mataji whose dad is here.
Right.
And then she went there and she was chanting and there was an accident.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so like this. So the point is, when we are discussing Krishna Katha, Yamraj or his mercy is there on you. So you will not be touched. Mrityu, Antakam will not be able to touch you. So Shaunaka Rishi, then they start ask these questions. Now when they stop, now Sud Goswami start repeating again. Now he tells them in detail what exactly had happened. So Sud Goswami tells them that Parīkṣit Maharaj was ruling so nicely, he came to know that Kali Yuga has come. And he felt sad that Kali Yuga has come. And because of Kali Yuga, the people of his, or like Praja, the people he was responsible for, they were having troubles. They were dukhi, right? Under stress. So he felt very sad for them. And then he decided to go around and fight. And fighting literally means he was, as an administrator, Kali Yuga has symptoms. Bad administration, mismanagement of funds, Lord's worship is not being performed sincerely, etc. So as a king, he went about. His purpose was not to go and kill anyone or not to defeat anyone in that sense, but he went with that objective to subdue the Kali Yuga. It's like an administrator. It's like police going around in the city to make sure people understand there is some rule here. There is a ruling here. So Parīkṣit Maharaj, he went about that. As he went about that, now once again keep that question in his mind. Yeah. Tad kathyatam yadi Krishna kathashra. Now where is the Krishna katha in this? You might ask why they are asking, why he's describing. So as Parīkṣit Maharaj went about around the globe, he visited various nations. And then Sud Goswami tells them, he went and he met. And tatrop shrinvana, wherever he went, he got to hear. And what did he got to hear? He got to hear the good deeds of his Purvaj. They were all discussing how Maharaj Yudhishthira, how Arjun, right? How Arjun and Maharaj Yudhishthira, how they were friends with Lord Krishna, how they performed so many tasks. So wherever he went, Swa Purveshu Mahatmanam, he got to hear that, right? And as he was hearing those pastimes, his conclusion was Krishna. Yeah. So Krishna Mahatamya Suchakam. All those activities that were performed by his Purvaj, They gave him a signal that it is all because of Krishna Mahatma, right? Which was leading him to believe that all of this is happening, or this happened, or, magnanimity, how magnanimous Lord Krishna is. So that's how he was understanding those, you can say, those conversations or those meetings with the various kingdoms that he went. Wherever he went, they will be telling him that it was like this, it was like this. And it is said that Parīkṣit Maharaj felt very happy by hearing them. And by hearing them, he felt so happy, he was giving them the gifts. See, this is how he is going to fight. Digvijay. Digvijay means he is going to fight. But instead, he is going there, and what is happening? He is stopping here, and he comes in here, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. We are glorifying Yudhishthira Maharaj and Arjuna and Lord Krishna. He feels very happy. He gives you some gifts. Then he goes to another kingdom. He feels, and they also talk about Krishna. Yeah. So like this, he was going. And all of them, then they tell him that how Krishna was so dear to your Purvaj, that for them, they again repeating, Sarathya, that Lord Krishna became their Sarathi. He became their charioteer. He became their Parshad. Sarathya, Parshad, Sevan, Sakhya, Dautya. Yeah. That he became the president of the assembly. When Rajsui Yagna happened, Lord Krishna was made the head of that assembly. He was the, you can say, he was given the highest seat in that assembly, Lord Krishna. And it is said that Lord Krishna, what service he took? He took the service of whoever he was, jo prasad lene ke baad jhoote bartan uthane ki seva, Lord Krishna took. He took that service. Cleaning that prasadam hall, taking away aapki jhooti thali, to wo service Bhagwan Krishna ne. Even when Yudhishthira Maharaj, he performed Ashwamedh Yagna. In that Ashwamedh Yagna, Vyasadev told Yudhishthira Maharaj, it is there in Mahabharata. So Yudhishthira Maharaj asked from Vyasadev ji, are we ready to perform the Ashwamedh Yagna? He said, yeah, you can perform Ashwamedh Yagna. Then he said, what shall we do? He said, yes, you should appoint somebody as head of this. He will be given Diksha, and then because of him, everyone will be benefited. It's like head of the family, one person, and everybody in the family benefit from that. So then Yudhishthira Maharaj approached Lord Krishna, and he told Lord Krishna that you please become the head of this. You take the Diksha, Ashwamedh Yagna Diksha, and only because of you, we have won this kingdom. We owe everything to you. But then Lord Krishna told Yudhishthira Maharaj, no Maharaj, you are the best kingdom. We all accept your rule. In Ashwamedh Yagna, what happens? The horse goes from in every town and every place, and the king of that kingdom will accept your rule, and he will let the horse go. Otherwise, they fight. Right? So the horse, he also went to Dwarka. The horse also went to Dwarka, and all the Vrishni Vamsh, and Arjun was behind the horse. And all the Vrishni Vamshas, they waited there for Arjun. And they did not stop the horse. And they said wholeheartedly, Maharaj Ugrasen was there. Vasudev was there, Lord Krishna's father. Vasudevji was there, and he said, we accept Yudhishthira Maharaj's rule. So Lord Krishna told Yudhishthira Maharaj, no king, my dear king, or my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, we accept your rule. You deserve to be the ruler of the whole planet, right? And I say, I speak to you. I speak to you with whole honesty. This is Lord Krishna saying. This is in Mahabharata. Lord Krishna says, I speak to you, Yudhishthira Maharaj. I will take whatever service you ask me. I will do for you. Whatever service you will give us. This is how Lord Krishna was submissive to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So now Parīkṣit Maharaj, when he is going for Digvijay, this is what he is hearing. He says, Snigdheshu Pandushu. Yeah. Your Lord Shri Krishna, or your all the sons of Pandu, they were so dear to Lord Krishna, right? That he Virasan, he became security guard for them. Virasan means in the night, Lakshman was always in the Virasan. In the Virasan, you won't fall asleep. Lakshman was always in Virasan. In Virasan, you have your one knee up and one knee on the earth, and you are holding a sword in your hand. That's how you stay in the Virasan. So Lord Krishna was in Virasan. Virasananugamnam. and he was following the Pandavas. Yudhishthira Maharaj was go and Krishna will be behind Yudhishthira. Lord Krishna will go and touch the feet of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And one day it is said that as Lord Krishna was coming, Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to go and touch the feet of Krishna. But even before Yudhishthira Maharaj come, Krishna went and touched his feet. So that's how Lord Krishna. He says, now they are telling that Virasan, Anugamnam, Stavan, right? He will be doing the stuti of Pandavas. He will be glorifying the Pandavas. Pranaman. He will be doing pranam. He will be doing dandot pranam to Pandavas. And then he says, he made them, Lord Krishna made Pandavas the master of the whole universe, the king of the whole universe. That's how grateful your Purvaj were. So these were the conversation happening. Now, as this was happening, Parīkṣit Maharaj, one day it is said that he was in his camp. As he was in his camp, he walked out, and near the river Saraswati, there he noticed a bull and a cow talking to each other. So this is that scene. Now, Parīkṣit Maharaj has come on his chariot and he sees the cow and the bull there distressed. Yeah? And it is also said, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Parīkṣit Maharaj could see them with his Divya Chakshu. Anyone like you and I, we cannot see them. Only Parīkṣit Maharaj had the vision to see that. Parīkṣit Maharaj saw them. And as Parīkṣit Maharaj saw them, they were conversing with each other. And as they were conversing, now first Bull came, and Bull came to Mother Earth. And then Bull asked Mother Earth that what has happened? What is the reason for this condition? Are you worried about me? His first question was, are you worried about me? Or is there someone who has gone away? Someone who is very dear to you, he has gone away. These are the symptoms of Kali Yuga. It is said that very often in Kali Yuga, husband and wife, even they cannot stay together. Wife is somewhere, husband is somewhere. Due to work, due to any circumstances, we are separated. We are not able to stay closer to our dear ones. Yeah? So he asked Mother Earth, what is the reason for your distress? Are you stressed about me? Are you stressed about the demigods? That now all the bad elements, they have become the kings and they are not ruling as per the scriptures. Are you worried about them? Are you worried about the people who are following the Varnashram Dharma? And because Kali Yuga has come, now because of the Kali Yuga, they will not be able to perform their duties nicely. Or are you worried about, now this is when he says so many things he asked. Or he says, oh Mother Earth, are you worried because the Supreme Personality of Godhead who appeared to remove your burden and now he has left? Or he says, maybe the Kal, the time, who is Bali Nam Bali Yasa, who is the stronger than the strongest. The Kal, Kalen, that Supreme Kal, it has taken away. It has Hrata, Abhrata Amba Saubhagam. That time has taken away your Saubhagya. Your great fortune has been taken away. That supreme time, who is even stronger than the strongest? He asked these questions. And then Mother Earth now starts speaking. And Mother Earth tells him that, oh Bull, you know everything yourself. These are the 40 qualities that are described here. We won't have time to go through all of them, but I just want to give you a glimpse of that. So now Bull asks these questions. Now Mother Earth starts speaking back to Bull, and she says, you know everything by yourself. Your 3 legs were restored by Lord Krishna. Now let's focus on this point. When Lord Krishna appeared, he had fixed the situation. Dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami. So dharma was established. The burden was reduced because all the miscreants were killed. Right? That's what happened in the Mahabharata. Wholesale killing. Yeah? And just by vision, just by looking at, that's what Bhishma Pitama is saying, that just by looking at the other army of Kauravas, you killed so many of them. Right? Now Mother Earth says, you know that you were also restored by Supreme Lord when he was here. And he was the reservoir of all these qualities. I'll just read and you just hear. We won't have time to discuss, but you can read. So just hear these qualities. Truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance to another's unhappiness, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, control of the sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind-heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfection in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being as the personality of Godhead, and 40 is eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from Him. And that personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Shri Krishna, has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I am sorry to see this condition of existence. So Mother Earth reveals her situation to Bull. And Parīkṣit Maharaj is listening all this conversation. And she says, now Lord Supreme Lord has gone back. And then she also goes and she says that Mother Lakshmi, to get her, to receive her merciful glance. Please focus. Mother Earth, who is always massaging the feet of Supreme Lord, to get the merciful glance of that mother of, Lakshmi, Mother Lakshmi, goddess. All the demigods, Brahma, Indra, they are always touching their helmet onto the feet, right? On the feet of the Supreme Lord, just to get a merciful glance of that Supreme Lord. That Supreme Lord walked on my surface. That Supreme Lord walked on my surface, she's saying, and maybe I became proud of that. So very important. Yeah, very important for all. You know how gopis became proud and Lord Krishna left. Yeah. So she's realizing, maybe I became proud of my great fortune, and because of that prideness, now I have lost that Supreme Lord Shri Krishna has left. And now as these two are talking, now Parīkṣit Maharaj walks there. And in the next chapter we will discuss, he speaks to them and he tries to resolve their situation. And he does resolve their situation. Today we also want to discuss, spend some time. Today, we have Vaishnava Tithi, right? Today, is it disappearance or appearance? Disappearance. Disappearance of Vrindavan Chandra Das Thakur and Abhiram. No, yes. Abhiram Das Thakur today and Vrindavan Chandra is few days. I think 26 or 27. Ekadashi day. Okay. So today we will only discuss Abhiram Gopal Thakur, Abhiram Das Thakur. He's also. So what had happened, Prabhuji Mataji? Abhiram Das Thakur, it is said in the Krishna Leela, he was Shridama. He was Shridama, and once Lord Shri Krishna and he is one of the Dwadash Gopal, Dwadash cowherd boys, one of the closest associates of Lord Shri Krishna in the Braj Leela. So once they were playing hide and seek. As they were playing hide and seek once, then Shridama, he went and hid in a cave. And then after some time, then Lord Krishna decided to go to Navadvip. I mean, in our calculation, we say it's thousands of years, but in Lord Krishna's calculation, it's a momentary thing. We could be thinking, oh, it happened so many thousands years ago, but no. So it says that they were playing hide and seek. Shridama went and hid in a cave, and Lord Krishna decided to go and then perform Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pastimes. And he, along with all the associates, they went to Navadvip. Shridama is still hiding in the cave. Now, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing Harinam Sankirtan, And as he was performing Harinam Sankirtan, he remembered his friend Śrīdama. And as he remembered Śrīdama, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell unconscious. He started crying. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started crying, Nityanand Prabhu, he lifted him and he put him on his lap. And Nityanand Prabhu asked Mahaprabhu, what has happened? Nimai, what happened? And then he says, I'm missing my friend Śrīdama. Where is he? Go and bring him. I can't survive without him. I'm missing him. And then Nityanand Prabhu said, okay, I will bring him. Tell me, where is he? And then Mahaprabhu told him, he's in a cave. He's hiding in a cave. In Govardhan, one of the caves, he's hiding there. Yeah? Please go and bring him there. And Nityanand Prabhu goes to Govardhan Parvat. And he said Nityanand Prabhu goes there and he started calling out his name. Oh Śrīdama, come out. And after a few times he called, now Śrīdama came out. Śrīdama came out and Śrīdama asked him, who are you? Why were you calling my name? And then Nityanand Prabhu said, I'm Balram, I'm Balai. So they used to call them Kanai and Balai. Kallu and Ballu. कृष्ण काले थे उनको कल्लू कहते थे, बलराम को बल्लू कहते थे, उसको कनाई कहते थे, उसको बलाई कहते थे. They had all these nicknames. And then Śrīdama asked, who are you? He said, I'm Balram, I'm Balai. He said, how can you be Balram? Look at you, you are so small. And then Nityanand Prabhu tells him, you are from Dwapar. That is why you are so taller than me. But now it's Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, we are smaller. Our height is not that tall like you. You are from Dwapar. But then Śrīdama said, I can't believe you are Balai. Prove to me you are Balai. And he said, how do I prove? He said, yes. He said, Balram was as strong as me. You know, Śrīdama is brother of Radharani. So he said, Balram was as strong as me. Prove that you are strong like Balram. He said, okay, how do I prove? He said, I'm going to run around Govardhan Hill. And if you can catch me, only Balram could catch me. Then I will believe you are Balram. He said, okay. And then he said, okay, let's get ready for the race. Now, Śrīdama, he stood up and he put his dhoti, you know, as the wrestler, they tie their dhoti up. So he got ready and he said, I clap and we start running. Śrīdama clapped and he ran. He ran and he went around Govardhan Hill 4 times. And then he looked back and Nityanand Prabhu was still behind him. He said, okay, I can understand. Now I can believe you that you are Balai. But he said, why have you come here? And then Nityanand Prabhu said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is missing your association. He's crying for you. I have come to take you. Please come with me. He said, no, I'm not going to come with you. Why did you guys leave me behind? Why didn't you take me then at the time? He said, no, please come. Mahaprabhu is waiting for you. Right? He said, okay. And then Śrīdama said, okay, let me get changed. And he goes and he dressed nicely and he came out. And then he tells Balram, I can't go with you like this. You have to carry me. Nityanand Prabhu said, what? I have to carry you. He said, no, I also carried you so many times because you were in the Krishna's team. Remember when you used to play? Once they were playing and Balram and Krishna, they were in one team. And once Krishna lost. And as Krishna lost, then, you know, वो कैसे खेलते हैं? घोड़ा बनते हैं. Once Krishna lost, now Krishna's turn to become Ghoda. And Śrīdama said, Krishna, Ghoda ban. Krishna said, no, I'm not going to become Ghoda. I'm not going to become a horse. I'm not going to carry you. Śrīdama said, why? This is a game. He said, no, but I'm son of a king. Śrīdama said, you are son of a king? Okay, you go out. You go out. And then Krishna sat out and they were playing. As Krishna looking at them, then Krishna started crying. As Krishna started crying, now Balram went up to Krishna. What happened? Krishna said, I want to play. Then Balram said, okay, let me go and talk to Śrīdama. Balram went and spoke to Śrīdama. Śrīdama, please let him. He said, you are also out. You are also out. Rule is rule. And he said, but Krishna is crying. He said, so what? And then Śrīdama looked at Krishna. Krishna, you want to play? He said, yes. Okay, Ghoda bano. And then made him a horse and Krishna carried Śrīdama. So Śrīdama told Balram, Nityanand Prabhu, you have to carry me. But Nityananda Prabhu said, I carried you so many times. And then he said, okay, I will come with you. But another condition Sri Dama put. He said, I don't want to get into another mother's womb. I don't want to go and, take another birth. I will go like this, as in my original form. And then Nityananda Prabhu said, okay, that's fine. When we go to Mahaprabhu, we'll sort it out. For now, you come. And as Sri Dama came, and all the friends, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate, they welcomed him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran towards him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Sri Dama. Right? And Sri Dama looked at Mahaprabhu and looked at everyone. He said, what kind of outfit are you wearing? You are wearing all these, sannyasi clothes. You have shaved your heads. What is this? He still remember Krishna's, Al-Kavali, those beautiful curly hairs. He still remember that. He said, what kind of, outfit is this? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him that at that time we were performing Krishna Leela, but here I'm performing Chaitanya Krishna Leela, right? I'm Krishna, but I'm Chaitanya. And then Sri Dama said, I don't understand what you are talking. Mahaprabhu said, you will understand. You will understand. And then Mahaprabhu then straight away told him, from today, Sri Dama's name is Abhiram. He's like similar to Lord Balram, right? So from that day, Mahaprabhu named him Abhiram. And then he became part of that team. And then it is said that Mahaprabhu then gave him instruction, you go and become a preacher. So he basically took shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, and then Gadadhar Das and Abhiram Das Thakur, then, or Abhiram Gopal Thakur is also he's called, they became part of Nityananda Prabhu's team to do the preaching. And it is said that he was so strong. Abhiram Das Thakur, he was so strong. If he bows down to a stone, or put it this way, this is how he will test. If you are coming, if you say, I've got Shaligram Shela or I've got deities at home, if the deities are not being worshipped properly, if they are not being looked after, as he bow down to them, the deities will just burst. If you put any ordinary stone in front of him, the stone will break into pieces. If it is a Shaligram Shela, he bow down to him and it will stay like this. So if you are fake, put it this way basically, that is a message. If you are fake, if you are, behaving like a devotee, but you are not a devotee, so please be careful. Very often in our movement, people say, Dandvat Prabhu, Dandvat. Don't be careful whose Dandvat are you accepting. That doesn't mean the purity of that person. That means your own purity. Whether you are pure enough or not. That is not about them. That is about you. So whoever he bows down, if you are not pure, you will burst. You will finish. If you are acting, if you are a hypocrite, whatever you want to call it. That's how strong his purity was. Because of his purity, the other person will be finished. He was that strong. Once Abhiram Das Thakur, in his dream, Bhagavan Gopinath came into his dream. And he told him, I am buried under the earth close to your place. Please dig me out and worship me. Yeah? I'll show you the picture. Okay, so this is Abhiram Das, or this is Sri Dama in Krishna Leela. So he's one of the Dwadash Gopal, the closest associate of Lord Shri Krishna. Then this is Abhiram Das Thakur. As you can see, he's so tall because he's from the Dwapara Yuga, right? So he was so tall. And then these are his deities. Yeah? So even now, these deities are being worshipped. So he dug the earth and he got the deities and he put them in a temple. Yeah? So they are Shri Radha Gopinath. Yeah? Gopinath deity is what he came into his dream. And that where he dig the place, then that place became a kund. Yeah, I think it's called Ram Kund. It's called Ram Kund, from where the deities came, and he started worshipping them. Yeah. And once another pastime, what happened was Nityananda Prabhu, he had 7 sons, one by one, and whenever he will invite Abhiram Das will go and he will say, please bring your son. As he go down to the son will die. It happened 7 times. Then they had a daughter. And this time, Abhiram Das Thakur, he went there and he bowed down to the daughter. And she was smiling. Right? She was named Ganga Devi. And then Abhiram Das Thakur wrote 100 shlokas praising, glorifying Ganga. After that, they had another son. And this time Nityanand Prabhu and his wives, they said, we will not let Abhiram Das Thakur come near us. Abhiram Das Thakur found out, one Pandit told him that they have a son and there is a big celebration and we are going for the celebration. You are not invited. They were teasing him. And then his wife Malini, Abhiram Das Thakur's wife Malini, it is said that he was also very short-tempered because he was left behind in the cave. So to reduce his temper, Mahaprabhu told him that you should get married. And Malini Devi was there. So Malini Devi would help him. So Malini Devi told him, you are a Gwalpar. You don't have any pride. Doesn't matter if they haven't invited you, you don't care. You still go. He said, oh, that's a good idea. I should go. So, but he said, I will go after a few days. Now he goes. As he went to go and see Nityanand Prabhu, then they had to cross the Ganges. As they had to cross the Ganges, Nityanand Prabhu, then the boatman asked him, what is your name? And then before Abhiram Das Thakur could speak, they said, by looking at you, we think you are Abhiram Das Thakur. He said, yes. He said, we have been instructed not to help you cross the river. And as Abhiram Das Thakur was there, the boatman filled his boat with the water and he sank his boat. Na rahega baas, na bajegi baas. He sank his boat. And seeing him sinking his boat, all other boatmen sank their boats. Now Abhiram Das Thakur, what did he do? He took his shirt and he threw his shirt into the Ganges. And the shirt was floating. And he sat on his shirt and crossed the river. As he crossed the river, then he reached their house. And Nityanand Prabhu welcomed him. And he said, I'm very hungry. And then nobody asked him, why have you come? But he said, I'm very hungry. As he said, I'm very hungry, then Nityanand Prabhu and his wife, they started serving him the prasadam. He kept eating. He finished all the prasadam. There was nothing left for other guests. And then now Nityanand Prabhu told him, I understand you are a Gwalbal, you are a cowherd boy, but there is nothing left for anyone else. And then Abhiram Das Thakur said, is it? Oh, please go and double check. As they went and checked, everything was back with double quantity. And now Abhiram Das Thakur, how can he go without blessing their son? He said, can I have the darshan of your son? And both the wives, they were worried. What will happen? But then they can't say no. So they brought the son in front of Abhiram Das Thakur. So every time he came, he paid his obeisances to the son and his body bursted. That's what happened to the 7 sons. Now this time they brought the son and both the wives, they were so worried. What will happen? What will happen? As they brought the son, Abhiram Das Thakur bowed in front of him and the son was smiling. As the son was smiling, now Abhiram Das Thakur named him. He said, his name is Veerbhadra. His name is Veerbhadra. Veerbhadra is son of Nityanand Prabhu. And then he wrote 8 prayers glorifying, which is called Veerbhadra Ashtakam. He wrote Veerbhadra Ashtakam in the glorification of Veer. And Abhiram Das Thakur said that I came to see that whether he is Swayamru. He is Swayamru. That's what I was checking. And then he said, he is an incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. He said, whoever did not get the opportunity to take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now if they take the darshan of Veerbhadra, it will be as good as taking darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Swayamru. And it is said that he is an expansion of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who is like Paramatma in our lives. You know, Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So he is an expansion of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Veerbhadra. And there is a nice Veerbhadra temple. So he blessed. So like this, Abhiram Das Thakur. So Prabhuji Mataji, there is no way for us to understand these pastimes. We cannot understand. If we try to logically understand, we cannot understand. Once there was a Brahman, his son was Raghunandan. And Abhiram Das Thakur wanted to pay obeisances to Raghunandan. Everybody was worried if he pays obeisances to whoever, and if you have any material desires, he will be finished. So he went to his house And the reason he wanted to pay obeisances to Raghunandan was because once Raghunandan offered laddu to his deities, Radha Gopinath, and Gopinathji personally came and took those laddus. So Abhiram Das said, I want to pay my obeisances to Raghunandan. He went to his house. His father's name was Mukund Das. He went to his house and he said, I want to see your son. As Mukund Das heard Abhiram Das is coming, he hid his son somewhere and he came out. He said, my son is not here. He said, I have to come to take darshan of. He said, no, he's not here. He has gone far away to some other place. And I don't know when he will come back. And as he said this, Abhiram Das Thakur went into banana forest. And he sat under the tree and he started chanting Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And as he was chanting Mahamantra, then Raghunandan heard him chanting. And Raghunandan came out himself to meet Abhiram Das Thakur. And then Raghunandan came and told Abhiram Das Thakur, I heard you are looking for me. I have come to take your darshan. And they both paid obeisances to each other. And then it is said that then they both started dancing and chanting in ecstasy. And they chanted and danced for so long. It is said that one of the nupur of Raghunandan, it broke off and it fell away 2 miles away. And where that nupur fell, automatically a pond was made. And it is called Nupur Kund. And finally, Abhiram Das Thakur had a stick. He had a stick, and that stick was called Jai Mangal. Thank you, Mother. Yes, yeah. That stick was called Jai Mangal. And that stick is what they used to, it's bull whip, when you are cow herding. So he says, Abhiram Das Thakur had that stick, Jai Mangal, and whoever he touched with that stick, then that person will be liberated and he will get the mercy. He will get the blessing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will get the devotional service to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srinivas Acharya, one of the Acharya in our parampara, he got that mercy because he was touched by that stick of Abhiram Das Thakur. So these are the pastimes, Prabhuji Mataji. As Narottam Das Thakur says that, Prati Janme Kori Asha. Yeah. Every life after life, that I hope, I pray. Yeah. What do I get? That I get the dust from your lotus. Prati Janme Kori Asha Charane Radhuli. Right? I hope and pray that somehow I can get the dust of your feet. So with that, we will stop Prabhuji and Mataji. And we hope and pray that all of you get a whip from Jai Mangal stick. Right? All of you don't have to come back. Right? All of you get saved from the Kali Yuga. Yeah? And we will discuss in next chapter how Parīkṣit Maharaj then relieves Mother Earth and Dharma from this situation. So there is a solution. Definitely Parīkṣit Maharaj has solved the situation. He designates few places for Kali. Right? As long as you are protected, you are away from those places, Kali cannot do any harm to you. Right? Very often this question is asked, why didn't he kill him? Killing was not a solution. The solution, as I said, remember the truthfulness. It is not about in our mutual behavior. Truthfulness is about truthful to yourself. As long as you are truthful to yourself, you are all safe, you are all protected. The Kali cannot even touch you. As long as you are associating, you are listening Hari Katha, you are giving each other as association. Shaunakadi Rishi, they have made an arrangement that Yamraj will also come. The death personified also come, so Mrityu cannot even touch. Tesham aham uddharata Mrityu sansara sagara. Lord Krishna is saying, I uplift them. ये जो मृत्यु रूपी संसार सागर है उससे मैं उनको uplift कर लेता हूँ. So you all will be uplifted. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So all the Prabhujis and Mataji who joined us online, thank you very much. and we will see you next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kavita Mataji. And Prabhuji Mataji, I would like to request everyone, let's chant Mahamantra once. So Kavita Mataji's parents tested COVID positive, and Mataji also tested COVID positive. And she is all by herself looking after her parents. And, so let's please keep them in our prayers. Whatever has to happen will happen. But the main point is we give strength to each other. Yeah? So let's raise our hands and chant Mahamantras for the family. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Mataji, please look after yourself.
Ji.